MashaAllah.
MashaAllah.
Jerry, can we have your comment?
Yeah, there's that is completely. I couldn't agree more. The thing we have, I think, over here, a lot of the problem we have is our media, and the misconceptions that are put forward through that. The one thing I run into a lot is as far, and it goes right back to what was just said. I have had discussions, and I usually do. I mean, it's a recurring thing where people will say, that they're on the Islamophobia, and they say, well, Muslims hate Christians or Muslims hate Jews, and they say, well, I know what the Quran says. I've read the Quran, and this is what it says, and I will literally quote the Quran to them in these discussions. And then a lot of these people, you could ask them, have you read the Quran? Well, I read this thing online that somebody translated, and I tell them every time, well, if you're going off of somebody else's translation, you're not going off the Quran. You're going off of what somebody else wants you to believe. And especially here in the States, I find it more so that we have actually Islamophobia websites where people actually will take hadiths or the Quran, and they will twist the words around to make them mean what they want them to mean, to back them up their beliefs against Islam. And this isn't just against Islam. A lot of times on these sites, what we'll find is that it's against Christianity and Jews and anybody else of any belief, even atheists, they will attack. So I love what was said about it not being the religion, because there are bad people in every religion. There are bad people in every country, whether they're religious or not. Even the Quran tells us that a promise by Satan is still an empty promise. So I think one thing a lot of people don't realize is that even love can be an empty promise from Satan if looked at from the wrong way, without belief. Because without knowing the love and fear of Allah, you cannot really, in any religion, without knowing that love and that fear, you cannot really know true love. And that is a really powerful statement, and I'm sure that a lot of people may not understand that. But when you really read the words of the books, and whether it be Christianity or Islam or Judaism, they all speak about love. And that love stems from the love of Allah, from the love that Allah has for us, from the love that we should recognize being true to our face. And the thing with the Islamophobia is, I think a lot of it is that people fear what they don't know. And whether that comes from lack of education or from media or from hearsay, where people are being taught by others. And like I've said before on other shows, we have people that think of tradition, they have to read the Quran in Arabic, and they can't understand Arabic, but this is what they read it in because they're told they have to. And they have to be taught by somebody else what they're reading. Therefore, that takes away from them the ability for them to interpret what's in the Quran. And that not only goes for that, I mean, as far as English too, if somebody's trying to read the Bible in English and they don't understand English, and then somebody else is trying to interpret that to them, you always have room for misinterpretation there. Each person is going to look and read the words, and they're not going to interpret them all the same, but the same sentiment is still going to be there. The same belief is still going to be there. We believe in Allah, we believe in God, we believe in Yahweh, whatever the religion is. But without each person being able to fully educate themselves and understand the books, then they can't really understand what is in them. And we have a big problem there. So education, I'll go back with Akhtar on that, and he knows I'll agree with him that education is the biggest problem we have all over the world. And this is also where Islamophobia stems from.
Inshallah.